Hello, hello there, my crafty friends. It's Candy here from SweetStamper.com, and I am very happy to be with you here tonight. I was out of town last Thursday, so I did not get to do a Facebook Live with you. Well, not a demonstration. I did pop on for a few minutes while I was in the middle of a convention, a creative convention, so that was kind of fun. And so I was able to at least say hello, especially since I had neglected to let you know I would be gone. So I am actually at the other side of my room tonight. We'll see how this goes. I'm thinking I might have less glare, but hopefully not a bunch of shadow. So hello there, Corinne and Kim. It's lovely to see you ladies. Oh, I have notes over here from something. Lots of notes. I'm kind of the queen of little bits of paper and notes and, just kind of the way I roll. Well, I'm very excited to roll out Candy's Card Club for for October, because September's kit is going in the mail tomorrow, and registration actually runs from the 13th to the 12th. So registration has actually already been open, even though you haven't seen what we're making this month. But I'm going to take care of that post haste. I'm looking for my envelopes because I do like to let you know, I do tell you, but I do think the visual is powerful, that with my card club, I do provide envelopes, and actually, 5, 6, 7, 8, each card kit is organized into an envelope, so everything is in there for us to make one of these 8 cards. So, how is everybody today? We are having just a hint of cool weather here, and I will take a hint. I will take anything I can get. Actually, it's not been too bad a summer here as far as Texas summers go, but yeah, I'm ready to bring on the cool. So let me show you what's what. I am featuring this beautiful new bundle from the mini catalog. It does not have coordinating paper and all those things. It's not part of a suite. It's just a bundle. Hey, Linda, I'm glad you're here. But I think it's really stellar. So one of the things I always look for with Candy's Card Club is I want to have enough sentiments. I'm making 8 cards. And so I can duplicate a couple, but I want to have enough sentiments. And then I also want images that are pretty versatile. So that's what I always look for with the stamp set or bundle that I'm going to feature with Candy's Card Club. Now begins even more fun. So the dies are seriously to die for. These little frames are so fun to work with. And you can layer them, as you can see. You can use them alone. I'm going to actually use the negative image tonight for a funfold demonstration. You have a little sprig with berries, and this, I actually used this in my Christmas card class with the manger. Well, actually not with the Holy Family. Love, love, love this little pine cone. So the dies are fantastic. Now, if you don't have this stamp set, you could actually use whatever you have on hand to complete the kits that I provide in Candy's Card Club. You do have the opportunity to add on the bundle if you would like, and when you do that, you get it at cost. That means whatever it is on the website or in the catalog, that's what you pay. And that means I pay tax and shipping. Hello, Margaret. Welcome from Virginia. So this is the featured bundle for Candy's Card Club, and let me show you what you get. Let me show you the cards and then what you get. So usually I'm going to give you a half a pack of paper, and that's the one thing you are going to cut when you get your packet. So everything here is going to be pre-cut and ready to go for you, with the exception of your designer series paper. And so the way I do my card club is I do, well, let me get them. Well, they're not together here. I'm missing a card. Okay, well, you know what? I was working on PDF tutorials downstairs. So there's a counterpart to this card. I actually have two sets of fun folds this month. I have this little tent topper, and I have it in basic beige, and I have it in cherry cobbler. Let me pull this here. And then I have, hey Jackie, I have these kind of bright cherry cards that are great for winter, especially if you're in the winter doldrums. And then I have one more fun fold, and so this is that top tab that I really like, and I'm going to actually demonstrate this one for you tonight. So, and you can see how when these dies, I'm going to use this negative image tonight, but you can use these dies singly. You can, now that's the postage stamp. You can stack them like I did here. So lots of fun things with the dies, beautiful stamps. Here I stamped it once and then stamped it again and then stamped it again without inking up again. So you can do that with something like, this is shaded spruce. So let me show you what else you get, and then we will make a card, a fun fold. Okay, so you will get a roll of this lovely gold striped ribbon. This is perfect for holidays, but I think, it also just adds a little bit of shine to whatever projects you are working on. You are going to get a package of these antique pearls, because this has a lot of gold in it, and then this has gold in it. So I needed some dots or something that was going to kind of have a little bit of shimmer, but not too much. Now this actually carried over in our annual catalog from last year because it was that popular, and I think also because it's super neutral and easy to work with. So you're going to get a half a pack of this. Now you can use the bright shiny side with all the gold, or you have these really nice, almost like, hey Kelly, I'm glad you're here, almost like a palette knife artwork. Yeah, this is for October, Linda. So you can see that on these I used the gold. These I used the the more muted side. Here I've used the gold, here I've used the muted side. So they're, and this one I used both. So I used the muted side here and then strips of the gold here. So there's a lot of fun you can have with this paper. Incredibly versatile. And the other thing I thought about was, sorry about the tickle, is when you finish with the cards for club, you're gonna have leftover paper. This would be great for making more of the same, or to make some Christmas cards. So that is October Card Club. Everything comes to you prepped and ready to go. Just add stamps and ink. And that is $45. It does include shipping for club members. If you are a non-club member, it is $49. And so you do save $5 by subscribing. Now you can what do you call it? You can unsubscribe at any time, but if you stay with me 6 months in a row, I'm going to give you a really nice gift package as a reward. Okay, let's make a fun fold. Now, let me show you what I'm going to do. This one that I designed, this is my original design. I used Granny Apple Green for my base, and then I used a little bit of Old Olive for my frame, because Old Olive and Granny Apple Green are counterparts of one another. I love to use them together. So this time I'm going to switch it up, and we'll see which one we like better. You can vote, because I'm still working on the tutorial for this one. I've done all the other tutorials, but this one I'm still working on. So I thought, well, it would be kind of fun to just switch it around and see which one we like best. Okay. Now, this is just a standard top fold card. And yeah, there we go. The only thing I've done different is I've scored this at 5.5, and then I scored it again. I think it is, yeah, 9 3/4. 9 3/4, and that allows me to have that little flap that's going to be the mechanism for my fun fold. Okay, Now, I am going to go ahead and put a panel inside. Now, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't, depending on if I want that framed. So with this one, which is the counterpart to this one, I didn't, because there's already a lot going on here and I felt like an extra piece there. But in this one, I have a more muted, subtle design, so I wanted that extra frame. So let's go ahead and put this down, and we're going to put a couple of little pine cones on there on the inside. I'm making this one is a happy birthday. I don't know about you guys, I have numerous friends with November, December birthdays, even the November birthdays. Well, both my daughter, well, I have two sons, but my daughter is born on my husband's birthday. They're both November. Now, I can get away with a pumpkin card for my daughter. Yeah, not for my husband. He doesn't want a pumpkin card. But these really pretty wintry images are the pine cones and the pine needles. They're really nice for, you know, cards for that time of year. Now, I'm just going to take this lovely little pine cone and I'm just going to stamp it once, and then I'm going to stamp it again, and I am using pecan pie. Ugh, well, that wasn't very good. Should I leave well enough alone, or should I just keep going? I'll keep going. Oh yeah, that covered it up. You know what happened? I didn't press all the way down. Okay, so we have a little bit of interest on the inside. Now, I do want to make sure these creases are really well done. Now, I'm going to put this out of the way because I don't want to get myself in trouble with that, which I probably would do. And I'm not going to clean this because I'm going to use it again. Now, this, I'm going to use a 4x4 piece here, and this is going to be at the top of my card. So for me, I want to put quite a bit of that gold at the top. So my card's going to open here, and I want all of that gold. Now, if you wanted a more subtle, you could just go like this. This one, it looks like a palette knife art, but it does kind of remind me a little bit of camouflage. So really good for guy cards, I think. And this particular card, depending on what you do or don't do with the pearls, if you left them off, I think is very much a kind of a unisex card. And then, you know, you can keep it kind of simple for the guys, or you can dress it up with pearls for the girls. Now, I am going to put another piece right here. And what I opted to do was, instead of, that's crooked. See, this is what happens when I sit. Okay, I don't know about you guys, when I sit, I get things crooked. So I'm gonna have to stand up and get this. I think it's still crooked. I think I botched this quite significantly. So this, like I said, this is a 4x4 piece of Designer Series paper. You could also put a piece of like embossed cardstock there, but I do think it needs something there. Now, I've got a little bit of a border here. This piece, I'm going to go edge to edge, so there's not going to be a border there. And you could do it either way, but I like going edge to edge with this. Again, I just want to create a little bit of visual interest and have all of my pieces just really working well together. Okay, now this piece is going to go here, and I am going to use the what do you call it? The negative of where I cut out one of the little fancy rectangles. Okay, I am going to, let me show you my original. So there's a lot of angles here, a lot of straight angles. So I wanted something rounded, and something I've been using quite a bit lately is I want a small oval, and we don't have one. So at least not a current one, I've been using this toadstool punch, and it's kind of a funky oval. It's a little bit almost like you hand cut it, but it's working for me and I quite like it. So You know what? I think I'm also going to, let's just do it a little bit darker. My original, I was being lazy and I didn't want to get out another another ink pad, but let's just go ahead and see if we can't get a little bit more contrast here for happiest birthday wishes. The other fun thing about using this as an oval is you can either have the straighter part at the top, the narrow part at the bottom. Anyway, I think it's super fun to use. I think I like that better. I like that contrast better than my original. So I will get out an extra ink pad. Now, we are going to put that branch right down, kind of the center, definitely at an angle. And you can see that my little frame is going to cover, and I want this to go right about there. So basically I'm going corner to corner, but well inside, so that when I put my frame down, oh yeah, it's going to quite nicely. Now, I do want to add a couple of these pine cones, and since I went ahead and got out put on my big girl pants and got out my early espresso, I think I'm going to do that because it's going to give a little bit of contrast. Oh, Linda, I mess up more than occasionally. I have a lot of mishaps when I stamp. So let's put one of these way up near the top. Ooh. And let's do one right over here. And I think I'm going to have to go back in there with a little marker. I think, because I didn't get it quite on the branch. And I think that's going to be enough. I did 2 in my original, and I think that's going to be enough because I'm going to have this, my little tag down here at the bottom. Oh, I like that. I like the contrast. The early espresso is, yeah, I like it a lot. So let me just get my marker out. Now, you know, these markers are going away. They are on the last chance list. I think they're reduced in cost. And, but you know, once you have them, they'll last for years. So get the markers if you don't have them. They're handy to have. And don't forget, today is the 15% off all stamp sets, unless they're on the last chance list. So that even means that you could get the stamp set at 15% off. I did the math, and I think that if you get the stamp set at 15% off, it's still less than the bundle. So anyway, I might be wrong. Somebody who has quicker math than I do could work that out for us. But I was placing an order this morning, and I was kind of figuring some of that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and place my little frame. Wouldn't this be great for scrapbookers too? I think that this is just so lovely. Now, let's do like so. I'm digging it, and I'm already liking this color combination better. So I think I'm already deciding this is going to be better than my original. Of course, my original, it's not totally fair because this is softer, but I think I like the contrast here, the brighter color here, and not on the back. But I want to hear your votes. Now, I think I will pop that up on Dimensionals. I didn't on my original, partly because I was covering another mishap. Now, let's pop this up like so, so that we have that little, I want to cover that, but I want to have a little bit of green around my pecan pie. Now, this is the one thing that's kind of just a wee bit tricky, not really, but a little bit. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my Seal Plus because this is the mechanism, and I want it to, whoopsie, really hold well. Now I need to make sure that this is straight because it really bothers me if it's not. I start noticing it. Okay, so I find that it's easier to put the adhesive there. Now, what do we think? Now, I am going to put a little ribbon tab at the top, and I'm also going to add a couple of pearls. Now, I'm going to color them, and I'm going to color them with dark, this is basic beige, by the way. I'm coloring them with dark Calypso Coral. And I think I'm actually going to do this big one here, and then a medium, and then I'm going to catch one of these small ones. See how that gives just a little bit of shine, because I've got quite a bit of gold behind there, and I'm going to add a little bit more gold, but just really subtle, still really subtle. Okay, so let's put one here. Yeah, I'm going to put it on the end of the branch like that. And then I'm going to put one up here on that end of that branch. And then I'm going to take this little guy, and I think I'm going to put it, oh yeah, right down there. So very simple, but very elegant. And now, last but not least, I'm going to put just a little ribbon tab, because this is how it's going to help people know, my recipient know how to open the card. And, you know, sometimes we who are card makers forget that the people that we're giving these to, they often are like, how do I open this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this back, and I'm going to make just a little loop here, like so. And then let me make sure that it's, yep, that's perfect. Now what I'm going to do then, this is the Keeping Tabs punch, and I've cut out just a half, and I'm going to add it there to give me just, it's going to cover that, and even not only cover it, but it's also going to secure that ribbon so it doesn't come flying off. Or, you know, somebody's going to open the card and it's going to pop off, and it's going to be, yeah, kind of ruin the whole effect. So this is my card number 1, and this is card number 2. Tell me your favorite. And that's what I'm going to go with. Okay, now Corinne likes my original better. Hey, Gloria, I'm glad you're here. So the difference, now there is the difference of adding in the early espresso ink, and that we can do either way. This one is softer, and I think maybe that's what you're liking, Corinne. So this one, I have a Granny Apple Green base and Old Olive frame, and I have the opposite here. Now let me just grab a piece of white paper or something underneath me to see. Let me use this so that you can kind of see these. Yeah, there we go. That's going to show them a little bit better. So do we like 1 or 2? 1 or 2. Hey, Lena, I'm so glad you're here. Hello, Estella. Okay, the voting so far is for the original. Okay, everybody's liking this Old Olive here rather than the Granny Apple Green. Okay. Well, while you guys are voting, let me just remind you of a few things as I'm tidying up my space so I can go down and eat dinner when I'm done. We ate a late lunch. My husband flew in from Arizona today. He was at a ministry conference, and he came in. We didn't get home till like 2 something, and of course he hadn't had lunch. So we ate a late lunch, so we're eating a late dinner. I don't usually like to eat dinner at 7:30, but you know. Okay, everybody's liking number 1. Wow. Kim likes the bright green, but think the other card is better. Now let me ask you this as well. Do you guys prefer just the pecan pie ink, or do you like the added extra? I mean, that's pretty bold. I should have just done this in the pecan pie and this. I do like this in the early espresso because I think it makes it stand out a bit more. But I'm definitely open to what you guys vote for. For one thing, sometimes you get too close to your own project and you can't see the forest for the trees, as it were. Do you like my little oval hat? I thought it was pretty swift, personally. I've been pretty excited about it. Okay, number 1, it is. Not a single vote for number 2. Wow. But I did give you the demonstration and the, what do you call it, the measurements for how to make this little top tab fun fold. And then the other, we have a second set of fun folds in this month, and that is this tent topper. So I've got it in basic beige and I have it in cherry cobbler. And then I have the 2 kind of bright ones for this month, and then this, and then there's a second one, I think, on my kitchen table. So 8 cards, and that is for Candy's Card Club for October. Okay, pecan pie on the ink, so this is too dark, and Kim likes the second one. But I think that the votes are definitely going towards the first one. So that is it for tonight. I hope that you have time to make something fun this weekend. We are already on Thursday, can you believe it? And if you are in San Antonio, I am having a BOGO sale at my house tomorrow, and we are doing some a little bit of holiday catalog kickoff. I've got some make and takes and BOGO shopping, and yeah, we are going to have a good time digging into new things. And so that is for my San Antonio and outlying area peeps, because it is here. We're gonna, all of the BOGO stuff is set up in my dining room, and we are going to be stamping at my kitchen table. Okay, well, thank you so much. Okay, Margaret likes the contrast of colors in number 2. I did, you know, I like them both, but I think this is going to be the one that I prepare for my card club members. And really for them, it's just a matter of the colors here, because they're going to stamp it with whatever they want to stamp it with. But that is it for tonight. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope to see you online or tomorrow at my house. It's actually tomorrow and Saturday. In the meantime, take care and God bless.